Well, it has all of a sudden been 2,857 days since Kobe Bryant dropped the microphone, both figuratively and literally, calling it quits on what was a legendary 20-year career in the NBA. All of it spent with the LA Lakers. Hard to believe it has already been 7 years, 9 months, and 26 days since that fateful night on April 13th of 2016. When a severely physically depreciated Kobe Bryant, on no legs at the age of 37, scored 60 points in 42 minutes, including 38 in the second half and 23 in the fourth quarter, which included 15 straight in the final 3 minutes of the game to overcome an 8-point deficit, and he hit the game-winning shot. The shot that put an exclamation mark on a career highlighted not by the charisma and the flash, the points and the scoring explosions, not even the championships, but was instead defined by his penchant to meet every obstacle without taking the easy way out, to play through all of the injuries, and to fight through all of the failures. And this premise of loss and failure have taken on a different meaning in today's society and are viewed more so as things that must be avoided or escaped rather than confronted and overcome. But if you show me how someone fails, most typically, I can show you how they succeed. The greatest players in every sport throughout history were willing to do whatever was necessary to win at any cost. And it is that component of Kobe Bryant's legacy which most defines who he was as a player and a person. He quite literally gave it all to the Lakers organization, never sitting out, load managing, taking his talents to some other city. And now, nearly 8 years after he retired, Kobe Bryant is finally getting a statue outside of Staples Center. I mean, Crypto.com Arena. But the question remains, what the hell took so long? Shaquille O'Neal's statue was unveiled outside of Staples Center on March 26th of 2017. With all due respect to the great Shaquille O'Neal, but he played only 8 of his 20 NBA seasons throughout his career with the purple and gold. We are talking about Kobe Bryant here, the Lakers' all-time leader in games played, minutes played, points scored, and he delivered the team with 5 NBA championships despite very little help from his bumbling, inept moron ownership group and front office, who quite typically did more to sabotage Kobe's career through the years than anything else. There is no excuse, none, for Shaq to have a statue nearly 7 years before Bryant. But it is just more of the same from this deadbeat organization who tripped over themselves to set up an in-season tournament banner celebration earlier this year. The alleged most storied franchise in NBA history, built by actual legends who hung real banners, now bend over backwards to celebrate this pathetic loser and his fraudulent accomplishments. Yes, it really happened. The Lakers hung an in-season tournament banner among their 17 other real championship banners. And they scrambled to make it happen on December 18th of this season, just 9 days after the conclusion of that scam spectacle of a tournament. 9 days, and we're going on 8 years for Kobe to get a statue. Just a mere microcosm of the treatment Kobe endured throughout his career and the vast amount of organizational ineptitude that squandered substantial portions of his prime. As many will point to Bryant's pairing with Shaq at the beginning of his career as some profound commentary about the strength of his supporting casts. But the Shaq and Kobe era came to an end following the 2003-2004 season, and the inept Lakers franchise ultimately moved O'Neal to the Miami Heat for a package that constituted one of the most laughable and embarrassing trades in NBA history. The Heat sent back Caron Butler, Lamar Odom, and Brian Grant. And Kobe's absolute prime, aged 26 through 28 years, squandered in a stacked Western Conference consisting of the Tim Duncan Spurs, the Steve Nash Amari Stoudemire Suns, the Dirk Nowitzki Mavericks, Yao Ming and Tracy McGrady's Rockets, as well as the Carmelo Anthony Allen Iverson Nuggets, and a perennial 50-win Utah Jazz team. And aside from Kobe, LA's core rotational players during this span of time were Lamar Odom, Smush Parker, Kwame Brown, Chris Mim, Devin George, Luke Walton, and Maurice Evans. These top 7 rotational players combined to make exactly 0 total All-Star appearances ever for their entire careers.
It's a complete crap.
But once the bum Lakers front office got around to bringing in, at the time, a serviceable one-time career All-Star in Pau Gasol, Kobe would again dominate that NBA landscape, immediately making a run to 3 consecutive finals and winning back-to-back championships following this trade. But 3 years after that second title, his moron organization would again step in to sabotage Bryant's career by effectively ending it with the garbage lineup they surrounded him with. And to think, some call the 2012-2013 Lakers a super team. Dwight Howard was their second leading scorer that year and was significantly diminished coming off of back surgery that previous offseason, while injuries would consume the remainder of the lineup, with Pau Gasol declining substantially this year, averaging at the time a career-low 13 points per game while missing nearly 40 games, and 38-year-old washed starting point guard Steve Nash also missed over 30 games that season. The roster issues were only compounded by village idiot Jim Buss's decision to pass on Phil Jackson for coach in favor of Mike D'Antoni. But Kobe, in typical Kobe fashion, dragged the Lakers into the playoffs, finishing second in the NBA, both in scoring average and total points scored in his 17th season, behind only 24-year-old Kevin Durant. And in the final 7 games of his season, Bryant logged an obscene 46 minutes per game, with the Lakers going 6-1 during that stretch. And all it cost him was the rest of his career, as Bryant's body couldn't take any more. And on April 12, 2013, Kobe ruptured his Achilles, which in hindsight signaled the end of his career. But despite all of the setbacks, all of the failures, Kobe still managed to dominate his era like few others in NBA history ever have, while hanging 5 banners for the Lakers organization. And it's nice that they finally got around to getting him a damn statue, so the rest of us can have another reason to remember him today and honor him in a way the organization has continually neglected to do.